welcome back to the channel. So let's go over a couple things that we knocked out. Let me get y'all's opinion on something real quick. Flip you around, show you what we got. So went ahead and dropped in, basically just started the return line. It's still laying on the floor, but we never did the fuel pressure return line because it didn't have the fuel pressure regulator. So now we got a fuel pressure regulator. I just ran it up here, over this, down here. Now this line was sitting on top of a nut. There's a nut back there, so I put a piece of rubber hose over top of that, and it's also still braided, so I think it's perfectly fine. Everything's nice and secure. P-clamp here to the carbon panel that's over there. P-clamp here to the firewall's carbon panel. So I mean, this line is not going anywhere. It's secure. This line, of course, folds down and crosses over in an X pattern to the back of the fuel rails. That's your inlet line, and then it gets zip tied up here. I probably should do some kind of P-clamp. I don't know. I'll probably just zip tie it though. That way it's easily to move out the way whenever you go to unhook the rails. You can just kind of lift it up to unbolt it. But so got that done. This low dollar pressure sensor on top of the regulator hits the intake manifold like that, so I have to get a 90. So I'm gonna get a 90 and put that in there like that, lay that down, and then that also keeps all the wires shooting back. I can basically lay the wire right across that line, zip tie it all nice and neat. So I just put that there so I don't lose it. Also, we do have the coolant pressure sensor that goes up here, but it was just kind of sticking up in the middle of nowhere. I didn't really think that one through, did I? Whenever I went to fabricate that, told Mike, let's just throw it in the top. It should have been out the side or something, but it's fine. It's no big deal. I put it up there because originally we were going to have the coolant reservoir right here. I'm going to get another aluminum 90, and hopefully I can either spin it where it's going that way so I can lay the wiring in the track, or it will have to hang out this way and the wire will have to go down. Back here in the back of the trunk, let me show you all this. So I put the fire bottle back here. Now I don't know if this is where I'm going to keep it, but I'm really thinking it is. So if you remember in my other video, I'll drop the weight percentages right now in the corner. That was without any torque converter, no drive shaft, no fluids in the rear, no fluids up front. So on the front, you got the radiator is going to hold a decent amount of fluids. The motor is going to hold some fluids. And this is a 15-gallon fuel cell. So I'm not saying we're going to run 15 gallons, but if you wanted to at the track only run, 3 or 5 gallons to cut weight, you could. But if you wanted to fill it up with 15 gallons of fuel, you could do that also to add weight to the back. With that said, this fire bottle on my little scales, it says air past 10 pounds, and it said air. So it's somewhere past 10 pounds. I'm going to guess 15 to 20 pounds is a pretty decent sized bottle. But I'm thinking putting it right there, y'all. I was going to center it a little bit more this way, but then I remembered, the battery on this side, so I want to kick some weight back towards that side. So I figured I would just shift it all the way pretty much to that side to get some weight off of this. The T fitting is right here, so then we can run the wires up here basically, and with the parachute cable and everything, and shoot it up on the passenger side. Let me know what you think about, let me know what you think about putting the fireball in the trunk, or if I should put it up in here inside the car for weight. What y'all think about that? I was thinking if I put it in here, I can put it up there on the package tray. I can unscrew my rear plexiglass window. I have to add some screws to it anyway, and I can nutsert it where it's up on top of the package tray to get some weight kind of up high and over the rear axle. This metal right through here is a little flimsy, and the seat pan is pretty decently sturdy, so I could also put the fire extinguisher in the rear seat pan. The goal was to get the rear seats made at some point so that it still has the padding back here, so it looks like a street car with a back seat. That was the goal, but I don't have to have the back seat, per se. It just would be really nice to have something back there. I'm just kind of debating it still, but I could mount it up there in the package tray, and I guess I also could probably find some kind of bracket to put it on, a down bar, zip tie up there, but I could put it on some kind of down bar that would hang it basically. Let me know what y'all think about that, where that weight should be, for the fire bottle, where you would put it at. So obviously I'm not going to put it, the passenger seat does go back in, so I'm not going to put it in the floorboard, and I don't think it should be up on the front. I don't think no more weight should be on the nose. All right, so it is now Thursday afternoon. We brought home the front main piece right here that Mike got welded up. So we're gonna get that installed tonight, and then got some other stuff in the mail for the car that we'll go over real quick. But let me show you the piece that Mike got welded up, how we got it all finished and knocked out, and that's what it's one of the items we're gonna do tonight. So, you know, I'll show you better on the car, but there it is. Mike got it all welded up. I got it all painted out. Got all the copper spider webs put back in it, because of course we had to put paint over everything, but it turned out really good. So got the flanges welded on the ends. You know, I'm gonna get this put in, and then, you know, we'll check it out. We got a pile of stuff down here that we have got for the car. So we got, as you can see, see here, I'm pretty sure I'll pronounce it right, even though I'll probably still pronounce it wrong. Deutsch connectors. We spent like $200 on this kit off of eBay. It comes with these tools, D-pin tools, I guess. And then I ordered this separate, one of the crimping tools, the actual legit crimping tool. Because the other crimping tool I was using for it was this guy, which works fine, but that's the ratcheting one that's supposed to be, you know, that's the correct one. So this kit, I decided, like we talked about in the other video, that since I'm going to be doing this, I might as well just go ahead and spend the money on getting the right stuff. So I now have a whole kit, but it's a nice little, nice little organizing pockets, a nice case. I feel like you're paying freaking $40, $50 for the case. Everything's organized, so you got all your, you know, all your connectors now, and I'm guessing they go in, these two go together, yeah. It's pretty nice. So now we should have plenty of connectors to do the car, to do the shock sensors, any pressure sensors we add, anything we add. So I'm actually pretty stoked about this, man. Like I talked to y'all about it in the other videos, if you're going to do it, you might as well just go ahead and do it right when you hate it. You know, when I don't mind doing something such as painting, I might, you know, cheat out on it or take the shortcut on some of the, you know, some items. But I mean, when you hate doing something as much as I do with wiring, then if you're going to do it, you might as well just go ahead and hate doing it right. You know, I don't mind cutting corners on something I enjoy, because if I have to do it twice, then I enjoy doing it. So, you know, like paint and stuff, I don't mind. I don't hate. So that's that. We should be rock and rolling now. Electric. Hopefully that will get us all the way through this wiring crap. We still have to put our harness into our firewall, and I didn't really fully get to go over the other end of this that I made for the car. I showed y'all that we were doing the Team TRZ one that's going to go in the firewall. So I traced out a spot right there and did 2 drill holes, and then I just haven't got to do it. What I did on this side, so check this out. This is what I like doing, which I'll show you later. This is how I wired it. And then on this end, it has all these little guys that go in one of them terminal strip bars. So you basically, you know, you can, you know, you put one of the wires here with a Phillips screw, tighten it down, and then the other side comes over here with a Phillips screw and the wiring goes. It gives me a breaking point. What that does is give me a breaking point so that if I need to add something to here or change something, you know, I'm not changing the whole wire from there all the way to where it goes. So I have one of them bars on this side of the car and one of them bars on this side of the car. And I don't know if it's professional or not, but me, how much I hate wiring, I decided I wanted a breaking point. That way, anything that needed to be moved or reversed, you know, especially with a switch panel. So the switch panel actually comes down, goes there to one of them bars. And then the wires are just like this. So they go into the bar, Phillips screws tighten down, and then you can put your other wires going out that way. So if you ever need to change what switch does what, you can literally just move your, you know, move your plugs around down here, and you don't have to redo your wiring. You don't have to mess with your wiring. So I don't know if that's professional. When I get under the dash, I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. But if it's not professional, then I don't care. I really don't. It's my car, and I'm the one that has to deal with this crap. I don't have no professional here that every time some wire needs to be changed or something, that it has, you know, that they will, you know, fix it for me. So we got in the brake line, replacement brake line for this side. Like I said, I ordered, you know, in other videos I ordered wrong, and I ordered only -4 when really I should have ordered -3. So got that in. So now the brake system, we can wire that. That's done for the most part. Got these in. So these are, man, I don't even remember the technical name. Let me see if they're on here because I'm going to bugger this up. It's an ignition capacitor. I do remember that. So it's a capacitor. So it's some crap that goes on the back of the head on the Coyote that allows it to just, I don't know, run better or some crap. I don't remember the science to it. But you have these red wires. And if you remember in early videos, I didn't know where they went. They go into these. So I don't know what happened to mine when I took my motor apart, but they ended up not being that bad. If you go on Google and you search for these part numbers, they're all discontinued, like everywhere. Like you can't get them on eBay, you can't get them on Google websites, different websites, you can't get them nowhere. So I called the Ford dealership under my business account, my body shop account, and they were able to get them like in 2 days, and they were like $8 a piece or something. So very affordable, but then we're 2 more pieces of the ignition system that has to go on the back of the heads. And then we went to the good old Do It Best this afternoon hardware store. Got a couple items. We got some toilet bolts. You gotta tighten up the toilet seat. Besides that, we just grabbed some bolts to put the front end on. They're about to put on, so the bolts go through your flange right here. And I just grabbed grade 8 bolts literally for looks. So I was gonna grab Allen head bolts, and then I was gonna grab chrome bolts, but both of them at the hardware store are freaking, like, the chrome is like $3 a bolt, and the Allen heads were like 2 something a bolt. So I was like, nah, we're good. The grade 8 was actually cheaper, way cheaper, and it's gold, which kind of matches the black and gold, you know, all the carbon that you have here. So that matches all that, you know, the carbon vinyl. And then, you know, the motor's copper, so I think it flows. I think the grade 8 gold bolts flow really good with the color of the car. So that's where we're at on that. Mike welded up the tack welded the pieces here so we could fit them on the car right here that we talked about in the other video, but I forgot them at the freaking shop. Let's see here. We ordered the extra input and output wires, so I have like every input and output you can possibly put on a Dominator now on the way. We've ordered the bung for the coolant temp sense. Hopefully that should be in like tomorrow, but I'm gonna get at it and see what grounds I can make tonight. I am gonna order them 90-degree elbows this afternoon. I tried to look for one at the hardware store, but there was nothing that was even slightly easy on the eyes to look at that wasn't like ugly cast plumbing pipe. So found some very nice ones on eBay, so I'm gonna get them ordered tonight, 290s. So last night when I shut the camera off, I went ahead and did the fuel return line, so it's mounted up nice and solid, you know, and we're going to work on getting that back under the car. I need to get the car lifted up, and then we need to work on getting the rear end yoke. And the wife did put this up here. Let's see what this is. She said the mailman came, something's made in China. The mailman came and left it. So we got these stupid spider bits. If you remember the trailer video, so this is what a spider bit is. It's 8 splined. This is what you need. So I went ahead and had her order them on Amazon Prime for this weekend in case I decide to take apart anything. Dude, I don't remember what this is. When you start ordering as much crap, and I don't ever get anything sent to the house hardly. Most of the time everything goes to the shop, so I don't remember what I even got sent to the house. What in the world? Oh, hair trimmers. Not even race car stuff. Dude, how depressing is that when you order so much crap that you don't even remember what you ordered, and then you get all excited, and then you go to open it up and it's freaking hair trimmers. So, all right, I'm gonna get to work, y'all, and I'll catch back up with y'all here in a few. Well, there you go. What have I been doing? So I was an idiot. I started installing everything because I'm so used to just installing everything like mock-up. And then I put it together and I was like, man, these things are freaking dirty. This thing I've had for over a year. This one's well over a year. So both of these have been handled 100 freaking times. And I was like, dude, this is final assembly. Like, it's kind of still surreal to me because I'm not used to, you know, final assembly. I've been taking stuff on and off for 2.5 years now, y'all. So yeah, I went and bolted all of these all the way through. I'm stoked at how that turned out. You know, them bolts on everything look amazing. You know, going into grade 5, the gold ones, hopefully they hold up like that. I don't know. I think they dull out. I mean, it's not made for looks, but I don't know. It's not like they can't be shined up every time you take them out, but they just look amazing against the other gold carbon vinyl. So I bolted all that in, snugged everything down tight, and was actually snugging these down and seen this. And I was like, dude, that has to be shined up. So I literally sat here and took my fingers underneath everything, around everything, because I was not about to undo all them bolts. Not when I'm not really trying to polish this. You know, I don't really care about it being polished. I just wanted to clean it all up. So we cleaned up the radiator, you know, cleaned up the edges. You can see that's a lot more shiny. If I took it off and actually just sanded it just a little bit, it would look a ton better. But kind of cleaned out the tracking here, you know, polished out the end tanks a little bit, you know, polished out the end of the radiator. You can see all in here is just a lot shinier. So maybe if I ever take it back out, maybe I'll actually put some time into it. But I'm not really that big on it. So, and technically if I use my cover panel that I built, all of this will get covered up. But honestly, I don't know if I am now, because I really like the way all this tubing looks. Everything's gonna be nice and hid. You know, I might not put that panel back on actually, y'all. So we'll see. But yeah, one thing I freaking forgot. This always happens. So this tank has to go in there, and I'm about to bolt it back in. It goes in here like this. Okay, bolts in like that. There's no mounts on this side. I meant to build some mounts. So I meant to build some mounts that would weld to this front end, and I got ahead of myself. You know, we got turned it up in overdrive this week, and I didn't remember. Yeah, I just didn't remember to do it. So I think what we're gonna do maybe this weekend, you know, it's all flat. This bar like runs like right here around. So we got some meat here. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll drill a hole and possibly nutsert this, or nutsert some piece where I will build another cage out of this kind of tubing that goes to this, but that it bolts to this instead of welding to this since it's already painted. Alternator still has to come out, get the junkyard numbers off of it, get the case painted up, and get the belt for that. That's probably going to be maybe this weekend. Maybe I'll get to it. But I'm going to keep on trucking and get some more stuff put on, hopefully. All right, so put the front end on and went ahead and put the wiring on. And as you can see, it's not gaudy in your face, really. So this plug will go, you know, right here into the headlight. This one will go down here into the marker light. And then this one will go right here into the grill where it goes. In the same way, you know, it's hid. You don't see it. It's tucked behind the bar. And then this one is zip tied to this bar. So it's, you know, it's there. You know, this is zip tied nice and neat right here to the edge of this. But it's not like it's tacky, you know, hanging all out. And then it just snakes down behind that bar right there where it's tucked up pretty nice and clean. And then it comes down this. Now this side is the side I wish I had done a little bit more planning on, but I didn't. So this goes to the headlight, parking light, just like the other side, the grill. You know, I ran it this bar. I originally tried to, the wire's right here. I tried to run it up this bar, underneath this one, and then down under this. But then I fell short of that because I don't have enough length in my plug. So it is what it is. The fender covers this up. The fender will be on. So I have to go from here to here and then catch it with a zip tie right there in order to, you know, be able to make that. I think that's pretty decent. So got that on. I'm happy with the wiring. You know, I just wish that if I would have thought it out just a little tiny bit better, you know, and had my T right here coming off of this, you know, the wiring, the split, instead of back here, had it right there. And then I also would have put this split for this one right here off of this bar, you know, instead of it just being out here in the middle. A little bit more thought in it would have went a long ways. Same thing with this one. This one was easy because this one goes wherever. But I wish I would have put this joint, you know, right here on this bar. This one's not that bad though, because your grill light is right here, so it should almost wrap around like that underneath it. So that one's really not bad. It won't need to be changed, but this one should have definitely come to this bar, you know, and then it could have either been zip tied underneath that, like that side over there, or it could have went up here. But it'll still reach perfectly fine. You know, there's just always, you think of, man, some way to improve. But I was just kind of, I'd already built that harness, like the wire length, and them wires are actually labeled on the wire front left part, you know, front right part from the kit that I bought. So it was kind of important to me to utilize them wires and not replace them wires when I was redoing this, because that way if I open up the harness, it's easy for me to remember, even though I am trying to write it down to have somewhat organization. But got to get that plug mounted in there and then get it, you know, plugged up and tidy up some brake line stuff. I got to figure out the plug for this stupid guy. So I got to look up what kind of plug that is, get that ordered so that that can go inside the car. Put some Deutsch connectors. I hope I'm saying that right. Somebody's going to correct me if I'm not. On that so it can go inside. But kind of drag and tell tonight, and it's not my fault. I've been doing I'm working like slow. And YouTube will mess you up in your garage. So that is the Limpy and Big Chief interview. If y'all haven't watched that, there's some real stuff in that. It's 2 hours long. Look at the red bar. I am 51 minutes into it. So for the past 51 minutes, I've been like moving at a snail's pace, barely doing anything, because he just keeps dropping stuff that I didn't know that's like real stuff, like from the past. But it's 10 o'clock again. Another night's already slipped by. So I've got the fender on, the grill on. I'm gonna pretty much wrap this up, call it a night. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'll be getting back at it. But I went ahead and on the fender, so originally on these little brackets that I built, I used a Tenderman clip. Look at that. So if you remember, I struggled when I first started YouTube, calling that thing all sorts of stuff, but now I got it. Y'all taught me that. So Tenderman clip, I had Tenderman clips on that thing, and so now I switched it to, when I put this on, I actually nut-serted it. I actually put a nut-sert in there because they're dead on, so there's no adjustment like in my fender, really. I mean, my stuff is dead on. When I built the car, I pretty much built it so that it was, you know, just one, you don't have to adjust it every time you take it on and off, on and off, on and off. So I nut-serted that real fast when I put it back together, and I put the grill up here just to kind of lay it out, you know, and was looking at the wiring. You know, it's right here in the way of the cap, but it's not a big deal because I can zip tie it over here to this bar and it's cleared, or I can also, once it's finally put together, I can kind of tuck it over here like that and it's clear. But again, if this connection would have been, well, no, I guess it's not my wiring harness, it's just how it comes out the grill. So that's nothing I guess I could have changed. But I mean, it's not like it's terrible, you know, but that'll be fine. I'm thinking about when it goes to Jason to get headers built. Jason's really nasty with fab work. Thinking about having him do a aluminum 90, and we cut a hole in the hood to get some cold air in, you know, to the Procharger, or cooler air, and not sucking it right here off the engine, you know. But I got that bar in the way, so I had custom built, if y'all remember in the other videos where I custom built this piece that wraps all around my tubes. But he's nasty with fab, so I bet he could easily make it where, you know, that bar runs through basically a 4-inch tube that curves up. So I probably just need to go ahead and order it. I found one online. But I've always wanted to kind of, and I'm worried about the rocks and the dirt, you know, coming off this tire, and that Procharger sucking that crap up, you know, because even if it comes off, bounces off the fender, goes down there, it sucks up, you know, little pebbles, rocks, me street driving it, stuff like that. I'm really, really worried about it. And yeah, I'm going to put some kind of turbo guard, Procharger inlet guard over it. And that would take care of most of it, but you could still, I guess, get some fine dirt and through there, I guess. And so I'm really would like to, you know, put a pipe up where it's, you know, just up here would be my preference. So with that being said, let's call this one a wrap. I think this one's gonna be long enough to go ahead and just cut this video and it not be too long. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Appreciate everything y'all do always, as always. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks, y'all.